in one moment. Hello, hello, hello. I am super excited to see you guys in the building. Happy Monday. You could be anywhere today, but instead you are here. If you did not register for the class and you're tuning in on Instagram, make sure you click the link in my bio and get registered, because when I tell you this is going to be one for the books, it's going to be one for the books. So, quick check in. Let me know in the chat, what does imposter syndrome mean to you? Like, literally, tell me your definition of imposter syndrome. When someone says imposter syndrome, what comes to your mind? What is your definition of it? I am really curious to know what your definition of imposter syndrome is. So let me know in the chat, what is your definition of imposter syndrome? Okay. What's your definition? All right, living for others and not being your true self. Oh, sis is coming through already for the one time. Yes, I concur. It definitely means living for others, because when you think of imposter syndrome is the inner critic telling you that you're not enough, telling you that you haven't earned the right to be where you are. And ultimately, it's a lie. Imposter syndrome is a lie. So put in the chat, it's a lie. It's a lie. Imposter syndrome is a lie. And we're going to dig so deep into it tonight. I'm about to send my AOD text crews a little reminder that we are live, but it is a lie. And the thing about it is, when you let imposter syndrome dictate who you are, you're literally letting it puppet you. You are telling it, you know what? You can do whatever you want with me. Take me, do what you please, right? And I don't know about y'all, but nobody's gonna puppet me. I'm gonna make my own decisions on my own time. So I'm gonna give everybody 2 more minutes to pull up, and we're gonna get started. Lies, all lies. Exactly, it's a lie. And if you haven't told me where you're calling in from, please let me know in the chat. Where are you dialing in from? So far, we got Chicago, Atlanta, ATL, Shawty. Okay, where are you tuning in from? And if you have not registered, it's not too late. Click the link in my bio, pull up. Tonight is going to be so much freaking fun. And we're wrapping up right at an hour. So do not sleep. Today's Monday. I also have my AOD crew tonight, so I have to be off at a certain time. But let me tell y'all something. We are going to get started in exactly 2 minutes. Okay. Boom. I just sent that to my AOD text crew. We Gucci there. All right. Cool. So here is the dealio. Okay. If you did not grab your 6-figure mindset blueprint, check your email, because we got Montreal in the building. Come on, Montreal. I'm with it. Check your email, because when you register for the masterclass, you should have received an email that had the 6-figure mindset blueprint in there. So make sure that you guys go ahead and grab that. Okay. Now, what you're going to learn today in the Imposing on Imposter Syndrome masterclass is, number 1, what is imposter syndrome? Okay. That's for 1. You're going to learn what imposter syndrome is. And then secondly, how to impose on it proactively versus reactively. Okay. Because this is the deal, y'all. You can be proactive and know when imposter syndrome is coming through. You can be proactive and know when you need to check yourself, or you can be reactive. Now, LaShana, what does it mean to be reactive? Reactive is you're not ready, and you literally are being just kerplunked in the head, and you're gonna bust your head to the white meat. Okay. And then next, you're also going to be able to be aware of what's triggering these negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, because imposter syndrome literally is negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, telling you one thing, which is not true. Okay. Now, if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you how you can work with me to help you build a mindset that is unbreakable, so you can scale in life and in business. All right. So here's the deal. Let me introduce myself. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've never heard of me, you've never been on a masterclass. And you're like, okay, who is this girl? We about to get it in. And give me a 2 if you an AOD crew member, you rocking and you rolling, you know who I am. You've been a part of one of my programs, whether it's one-on-one, my group coaching, or anything of that nature. Well, 1, if you're new to me. 2, if you are AOD crew for the one time, let's get it. Okay. Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about my resiliency story. I'm not going to go in depth tonight for time purposes, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes, okay? And the reason why I call it my resiliency story is because at the end of the day, we all have a story. We all have a story, whether it was we were bullied in the past, we grew up in a home that was dysfunctional, or maybe we were adopted, or maybe, you know, we've had some unresolved childhood trauma that we've been working through. Whatever it is, we all have a story. And so for mine, I literally grew up in a dysfunctional home where my parents were both addicted to crack cocaine. And I call it drug, sex, and rock and roll. I'm talking infidelity, domestic violence, physical abuse, mental abuse, the whole 9. And by the time I was a senior in high school, I had 3 reconstructive jawbone surgeries because I was running from my mom and she was trying to whoop me because I lost $100 bill and I cracked my jaw on the ground. And when we went to the hospital, they just stitched my jaw up, right? And so when they stitched my jaw up, it caused me to be very, very insecure. You see, some people, when you don't want to publicly speak, when you maybe, you know, you don't like speaking in front of crowds, we might think it's lack of confidence. It's being insecure. Well, mine was caused due to trauma. And I knew that it was a non-negotiable in order for me to advance in my career. I knew that me not speaking in front of crowds, that was not going to be able to enable me to be a millionaire, right? And so my insecurities stem from trauma. And a lot of us have different insecurities, but I want to ask you today, what does your insecurity stem from? What are you insecure about? And where does it come from? Because in order to get to the root cause of what's going on in your life, you have to really think about, what am I insecure about? What am I lacking? What is my confidence block? And where does it come from? And then the next question is, why am I insecure about this? So let's just take me for an example. You know, I had that traumatic event occur for me, grew up, my mouth was crooked because when they did the surgeries, it would grow back the same way, right? And so I was insecure in my head thinking, okay, they're staring at me, they're going to notice, but this was all in my head. It was how I felt. So we still have to acknowledge what we are insecure about, but I also want us to really get to the root cause of, where does it stem from? What is the root cause of it? And let me know in the chat, why is it important for us to know where our insecurity, where our trauma, where our dysfunctionality, where does it come from? Hey guys, I see y'all pulling up. If you're on Instagram, click the link in my bio so you can be right here with us in the Zoom room. Lisa said, I was bullied as a kid and I used to be terrified to stand in front of the class and talk. Oh my goodness, Lisa, yes. And this is the thing, guys. I don't know if you know this, but they say public speaking is the #1 fear, even over spiders, dying, heights, the whole 9. So think about, you know, mine was rooted from a traumatic event, but I still had the same issue that those who didn't experience that specific event. So we are more alike than we are different. Now, all of this is wrapped up into imposter syndrome and scarcity mindset. And so a scarcity mindset is when you are excessively thinking about the lack of something. I don't have a husband. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a wife. I don't have any kids. I don't have any money. It's so funny. I met somebody last night, and because I'm a mindset coach, because I'm a business therapist, guys, you know what? I think I just went into this without introducing myself. I'll do that here in a minute. But I immediately picked up on the lack thinking, the scarcity thinking, because the person who I was talking to, they kept talking about what they didn't have. And I told them, I said, well, tell me what's going well, right? And this is the thing. Once you get around a certain type of person, a certain type of community, you don't want to hear all that negative Nancy. And it's not that we don't care, but we know that if you continue to think in that negative way, you'll go down a slippery slope. And here's the deal. When you have that lack mindset, lack of money, lack of resources, all of these negative things, you are literally letting imposter syndrome dictate your actions. And so because I like really zoomed past and didn't introduce myself, let me go back, because y'all, here's the deal. I need to quit capping. You feel me? My name is LaShana. I'm a business therapist, and I help entrepreneurs move the mental blocks that are stopping them from scaling. It's so funny. I talked to somebody today, and this is the 5th person that told me I remind them off of Wendy on Billions. Has anybody seen the show Billions? I'm a business therapist, and basically Wendy helps them literally to make more money, to do better with her strategic approach, with the business therapy, with the mindset stuff. And that's exactly what I do. I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs, creatives, executives, professionals, and teams with their mental health, mental wellness, and overcoming limiting beliefs so they can scale in life and business. So think of job performance, retention, quality assurance, quality performance. That's me. Oh, she said, I love that show. I got to check it out. But I will say that is definitely a compliment. So scarcity mindset increases imposter syndrome. When you have that lack mindset, well, I want to launch this offer, but I don't know. I want to jump in that DM, but they may not buy. I want to increase my prices, but I don't know. You're feeding imposter syndrome. The more you struggle with imposter syndrome, the less impact you make. Okay, if you ain't heard me say nothing today, I want you to remember this. The less impact you make when you struggle with imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs, and all that stuff, because you're feeding the beast, okay? And let me share this. Once I was able to do my inner work and work on imposter syndrome, meaning working on imposing on it. I say when I impose on imposter syndrome, I got both of my elbows out. I'm in that thing. I'm knucking, I'm bucking. And when you are able to do that and reframe your mindset, you will scale in life and in business. On the screen right now, you see a picture of me and one of my good friends, Keon Davis. He helped me host my Accountability on Demand 2-day live event. If you do not have your ticket, early bird tickets are on sale right now in Atlanta. This was last year, but we're having another one July 30th and 31st. And I was able to literally build a community on and offline. And then also 10 months ago, I left my 9-to-5. And these are some pictures of me celebrating my 6-figure year. And to be exact, I actually was able to clear 6 figures in 6 months after leaving my 9-to-5, because I no longer let the negative things in my head, the unresolved trauma that happened for me, not to me, placing blame on other people. I took accountability for myself, decided I was going to make an impact in this thing called life. And that is celebrating. So why I'm sharing this is because I want you to know what can be on the other side of you choosing yourself instead of the thoughts that are in your head. All right, pop quiz. What is the percentage of people in the world, that struggle with imposter syndrome? Let me know in the chat. Give me your best guess. What is the percentage of people in the world that struggle with imposter syndrome? And for those who've been on my master classes and y'all been in my training and programming, don't be cheating, because we know y'all know the answer. But I really want to get a pulse check to see what everybody's thinking. All right, 80%, 85%, 40%, 84%. Okay, 84, I see you. 95%, 80%. What else? What y'all got going on in Instagram land? What percentage? All right, somebody got it on the head. Max said 95%. Give or take 90, 95%. So what that tells me, y'all, what it tells me is that everybody and their mama has struggled with it at some point, right? And what we have to do is realize that you're not alone. And it's normal to have these thoughts. It's normal. However, it's not okay when you sit in the dysfunctionality and you sit in the negative thoughts. Put in the chat, I will not sit in the negative thoughts. I will not sit in the negative thoughts. I have a 19-year-old. I have to work with her daily because, as we know, growing up, learning how to, be your full self and learning, you graduating, you're trying to find yourself. That's when you're most prone to the negativity. But guess what, y'all? Being an entrepreneur, we're learning the ropes. We're learning email marketing. We got to show up live. We got to ask for the sale. That is new territory. It is normal to have those negative thoughts. Okay. So for those that are in here, I'm so excited you're here, but I want to make sure that we all on the same page. Now, I'm not just doing wah, 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 wah. What is imposter syndrome? Everybody keeps saying this IS word, but what in the world is it? To put it simply, imposter syndrome is the experience of feeling like a phony. You feel as though at any moment you're going to be found out that you're a fraud. You don't belong at the table. You just kind of got lucky. Has anybody ever felt that way? Give me a 1 in the chat. Let me put a 1 here. Let me put a 1 on IG for the one time. Okay? Yes. No one is exempt. We've all felt like that. But there's a key word in here, guys. It starts with an F. What word is the key word on this screen right now? It starts with a F. It starts with a F. Exactly, Mike. I knew he was going to come through for the one time. It is a feeling, guys. It's not fact. So what does imposter syndrome look like? Let me know what it looks like for you in the chat, and then I'm going to go through some more of my slides and share more info, whether you're here live with me on IG or here in the Zoom room. What does imposter syndrome look like for you? Pop it in the chat for me. Wow. All right. So I see feeling you're not qualified. Very good. Ooh, I love what Dr. Velva said. She said procrastination. Now, how is it, guys, that imposter syndrome can look like procrastination? I'm going to go into that a little bit later. Avoidance, not trying. Yes. Perfectionism, most definitely. Feeling inadequate and self-doubt. Okay. A lot of the what ifs. Well, what if this? Well, I don't know. The indecisiveness, right? And then we'll even move on to feeling like a fraud. Oh my God, I'm a fraud out here. I don't really know what I'm doing. How I'm gonna teach people how to do A, B, and C. I haven't done it myself. Anybody ever felt that way? Give me a 7 in the chat. How am I gonna do A, B, and C and I haven't done it myself? I see the 7s coming through. Yes, feeling like a fraud. Feeling like everyone around you knows what they're doing, but you don't. Guys, when we start entrepreneurship, you could have a PhD in parenting and you want to teach people how to parent, but entrepreneurship is a whole new journey. You got to learn systems and processes and funnels and building your know, like, trust and all of the things. And so we start to shrink thinking that we don't know what we're doing, but I will tell you, you know what you're doing. You were built for this. It's just going to be a learning curve, and we need you to be patient with the learning. Feeling like you snuck into a job or a position or a community or a table and no one is noticing that you're unqualified. You're trying to figure out, are they going to notice that I'm not even supposed to be here? Let me pinch myself. How did you? Okay, I'll stop. Anybody know that song? Give me a 2 in the chat. Just give me a 2. That way I ain't feeling crazy. Anybody know that song? Okay, cool. I got a 2. We good. We good. Feeling like you don't deserve the accolades that you receive. Watch her face when the gift first comes on. She gets the reward. She's like, "Ooh, is this for me? I can't believe it." And then it's like, okay, let me accept it. Okay. Imposter syndrome is a feeling and not a fact. Please put in the chat, feeling, not fact. Feeling, not fact. Hey, feeling, not fact. Here we go. Feeling, not fact. Y'all need to be here. Y'all need to be up in this office with me. We lit. You feel me? Feeling not that. Exactamundo. Okay? Now, what is limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, and imposter syndrome really costing you? If you do not have a pen and a paper, go and get it. Because when I was creating this content, and guys, I do, free master classes periodically. Last couple weeks, we did six-figure mindset, and make sure you get the free blueprint. Just click the link in my bio, sign up for the class, and you'll get the blueprint. It's also on my website. But what is the limiting beliefs, the negative thoughts, and the imposter syndrome really costing you? Okay? So we about to do the math. Give me a 7 if you're ready to do the math. Y'all ready to do this activity? Give me a 7. Y'all ready to do this math? You know what I'm saying? Gonna be easy peasy too. It's gonna be easy peasy. All right, cool. So here's the deal. Here is the deal, okay? Tell me in the chat, how long have you been struggling with imposter syndrome? Okay, now that I've explained what it is, tell me in the chat. And mind you, struggling with imposter syndrome is not like, oh, I do A, B, and C and it's done. It's not finite. It's a journey, and you have to learn the coping skills to deal with it. So for me, it resurfaces periodically, right? I see most of all my life, a lot too long, since grade school. Okay, what else we got? How long have you been struggling with imposter syndrome? So we already know it's been a long, long time, right? But let's just say you've only had it for 1 year. Okay, we gonna play this real safe because I want to explain something to y'all. Let's just say you've only had it for 1 year. I want you to know the compounding impact of imposter syndrome and you not operating in your zone of genius. So who in here has an offer in their head, in their mind, in a notebook, in their heart, in their being that they have not put out there on the table yet? Drop me a 1 in the chat. Who has an offer that you have not put out there yet? You have it, but you ain't put it out there yet. And there's so many variables on why, but what it really boils down to is you not believing yourself, or you have an imposter syndrome and it comes and goes so much that you really haven't been able to put that thing out there on the table and lay that thing out in a smorgasbord. Okay, cool. I see lots of 1s. Matter of fact, let me go and put my 1 too, because I have one that I haven't done yet. And I know y'all like, what, girl, you up here doing this and that? This is the thing, y'all. We be playing small. We be playing small. We don't really do the thing that we know we need to do that's going to crack the code, that's going to shake the world, because we're afraid that people are not going to be open to it. They're not going to be ready. They're not going to be accepted. But let me just show y'all one thing, okay? Let's just say the program that you've been having simmering in your soul is $2,500. And when you don't do speaking opportunities, when you don't do a podcast, when you don't show up on live, you're missing opportunities. But let's say you have a program that's $2,500. You do a speaking opportunity about it. There's 50 people there, and you close 10% of those people. That's 5 people, right? So track with me. Now, mind you, I'm not even talking about the marketing strategies. I'm not talking about nothing. I'm specifically talking about you did a speaking opportunity. There's 50 people there. You shared your program with them. 5 people close. And then you launch your program for the first time. And most times when we first launch, I've launched my program, 0 people signed up. I've launched my program, 1 person signed up. I've launched my program, 4 people have signed up. Okay, a lot of us think that when you do A, B, and C, you're just about to get this flutterer of people in these little groupies talking about, what's up? What's up? We want to get on. Put me on. Okay, I'll stop. That's not realistic, y'all. So let's say 5 people came from a speaking opportunity. 4 people came when you launched. And then you got 2 referrals. So what is 5 plus 4 plus 2? What is that, y'all? Let me know in the chat. 5 plus 4 plus 2. How many is that? 11. Remember I said your program is $2,500. Now, mind you might be like, LaShana, my first program ain't finna be no $2,500. Guess what? When you work with me, yes, it is. Because honestly, that's $2,500 is on the lower end. $2,500 times 11 is $27,500. Just by you saying yes, launching your program, doing a couple speaking opportunities, I'm not even adding in email marketing, launch events, masterclass, challenges. Guys, we're on the lower scale. So if you don't launch your program, and remember I said, let's say you've been struggling with a year. So let's say you've missed out on $27,500 for the year because you didn't launch your program. Now, mind you, we've all been struggling with imposter syndrome way longer. Let me tell you about the compounding impact of when you say yes to your gifts and when you say no to imposter syndrome. If we went up on that cohort $1,000, because you know, when you do the first cohort, you get a couple people in there, you're going to run that thing back. So let's say we went up $1,000. Now it's $3,500. And now you're doing a speaking opportunity because people know who you are. They're tapping you on the shoulder. 100 people pull up and you close 10%. You close 10 people. You convert you close 10 people in the speaking event, and you launch a program and you double that. Now 10 people came on, that's 20. And then referrals, you got 5 referrals. I put 27, but I meant 25. So let's do the math. What is 3,500 times 25? Let's do the math. 87,500, y'all. The reason why I want to show y'all this is because of this. When you push imposter syndrome out the way and you get on that horse and you call that thing a thing, and you launch and you say yes and you don't give up, every single day you're getting better. The skill set gets better, your messaging gets better, your community grows bigger, your opportunities are wider. You can't do anything but level up. But if you don't do anything, you won't only not level up, you won't level at all. You will just level, right? And so this could be in the same year. I know for me, I launch at least 3 to 4 times a year. So when we add that 87K plus the 20-something K, that is over 6 figures by 2 launches. And as you guys seen, it's not even a lot of clients. 11 clients on the first launch, 25 clients on the second launch. And mind you, I'm literally using numbers, but I want to show you the math because at the end of the day, with imposter syndrome, your program is 0 money. Your speaking opportunities are 0 because you're not seeking them. You're not saying yes. You don't launch. Nobody converts. Nobody's getting referred. Somebody said, wow, in the chickadee chat. Wow is right, Jasmine. When I did this, I said, you know what? This right here is a freaking game changer. Because even if we said one person got in the program, that's $3,500. That helps you to get your moment, $2,500 helps you get your momentum. You get the market research, you get the feedback, you run that thing back, and it's a compound effect. How do you guys think I left my 9 to 5? I started out charging $15, $20, $30 an hour. But I started with no coach, with no program, with no community, okay? So I need us to remember the Gandhi quote. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. When you're letting those negative thoughts come in, it sinks into your psyche. Your behavior becomes your habits become your values become your destiny, okay? So I need us to be very cognizant about the things that we're letting in and the words that we're putting out. So let me get some feedback in the chat. What are y'all's thoughts when y'all seeing the compound domino effect about what I showed? And just, y'all, I say, let's just say you've only been struggling with it for 1 year. And that was 1 year you didn't take opportunities. For those that's been struggling with it all our lives, that's why you haven't made your revenue goals. That's why people haven't opted in. They have nothing to opt into. And even when they opt in, if you don't have your mindset together and your messaging, your marketing, all of that good jazz together, then there's going to be gaps. This is not Houdini magic show. You literally have to try, test, and tweak and stay on the horse. Okay? So I'm looking in the chat to see what y'all got for me. Let me get one piece of feedback in the chat. What stood out for you when you were able to see that? I see the wow. And after that, we're going to go into the 3 top success gaps that keep you stuck in your own way. Man, hold up, Nia. Nia put I'm in my own way. And y'all, what in the freak does this say? I'm telling y'all about alignment. I am telling y'all about alignment. Need to put myself out there more. Yes, it is possible. You might just need to go knock on doors. Sometimes, y'all, we be thinking our target market's on Instagram, Facebook. That's not even where our people at. And I was looking at Myron Golden's podcast session he did with Ash Cash. He said, we up here trying to find our target market and our clients. We need to be findable. You need to be findable. Every single issue that people have in their life, they're looking for someone to help them. They're looking for someone to solve their problem. But if you're not findable, they cannot locate you. And if you're not showing up, they dang sure can't find you. So let's talk about the gaps, okay? Lack of knowledge regarding what the true mindset issue is. Don't sleep on your mindset. Your feelings matter. You're thinking it's one thing and it's really another. You're thinking, oh, I lack confidence. Oh, I lack clarity. No, you lack courage. It's the courage muscle that needs to be built. And once that's built, everything else will flow. No, it's your unresolved trauma. That's the reason why you won't show up in your full authentic self. No, it's that you literally were bullied in the past to where you don't really have a voice and you don't speak. We need to hear your voice. We need to see your quirks. You were bullied about having a gap, having a crooked mouth, maybe stuttering. Guess what? It's millions of people out here who have the same thing going on. They're looking for you. And so we did this a couple weeks ago, and I want to do it again. Feelings matter. So if you go to the lower level, -3, that's that grief, that guilt, that insecurity, unworthiness, depression, despair, hopelessness. If you're feeling that way, you need to tap into that and interview the feeling. What is going on? What happened for me? What do I need to do? And as you go up the scale, in the middle is more contentment, satisfaction, and stillness. That's when you're comfortable, you just kind of breezing through. And then the higher you go up in the emotional scale, that is when you're able to soar in life and business, because you're about your passion, purpose, you're excited, you're trusting yourself, you're trusting others. So definitely take a screenshot of this, tag me on social if you want to share it, because I want you guys to do a self-check with yourself to kind of take a post check to see how are you feeling. And then you ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What happened? What time did it happen? How many times did it happen? How often is it happening? Lisa said, love this. So here's the deal. I have a trigger tracker in the six-figure mindset blueprint. So make sure you guys download that. But in order to gain emotional clarity, you have to track your triggers. When, what, and how. So let's look at these common situations that trigger our emotions in life and business, okay? Rejection could be if someone says no, they don't want to buy. Or you ask somebody to collab, they don't follow up, they say no. You feel rejected. Betrayal could be if a client maybe goes and works with someone else instead of you. Or a potential client says, oh, I'm checking out a couple people, I'll let you know, they don't follow up. So you feel betrayed. And the reason why I have these feelings over here, guys, is because these are emotions. And the thing is, we take these emotions and we turn it into reality. It's false. That doesn't mean you're not worthy, you're not good at what you do. You just weren't the right fit, and that's okay. Everybody is not fit to work with everybody. Everybody's not fit to collab with everybody. So give yourself grace. And then challenge beliefs. Feedback from a peer, a client, a coach. You're passionate about what you do. You created something and you get feedback about it, and now you feel challenged. That's taking things personal. You cannot personalize in life or business, because you will literally become a punching bag. So you have to let things, what they say, let dead dogs lay. You have to do that and just brush it off and keep it moving. Helplessness or loss of control. Anybody, when they got new information, new system, a new opportunity. When you're not in control, you just feel helpless. You feel like you're not in control, and that makes you kind of spaz. It makes you feel vulnerable. Anybody can relate to that? Give me a 1 in the chat. Oh yes, you can relate. Especially with these systems, y'all, right? I see the ones. Being excluded or ignored, not being invited to the table. You see all these little flyers, you got these speakers, this and that, and they never ask you. They always got the same person speaking on the same thing. You can do it, you can do it better. So you start getting in your feelings because you feel excluded. You're feeling ignored. Insecurity or lack of self-esteem, that is the imposter syndrome. But guess what? Imposter syndrome is a breeding ground for all of those things. So how do we address our triggers? We have to trace the root. If you're feeling annoyed and irritable, where did it come from? Trace it, right? Own your feelings. If you're feeling like you're not enough, you start looking at people's social and you start to compare yourself. Why are you feeling that way? What happened? Is it because you've been procrastinating and you haven't been doing your work, and now you see someone who has a final result and you feel like some type of way? Let's just keep it real, right? I had an idea that I was sitting on and I seen a flyer, somebody's doing it. I wasn't in my feelings, but I was like, well, LaShana, you slept on that. Keep it moving. Have I always felt that way? No. The old me might have been a little hater, been a little salty, right? So you have to own your feelings and give yourself space and grace. And that's what I love about Accountability on Demand, whether you work with me one-on-one, whether you're in my group coaching program. That is a space for us to give ourselves grace, a space for us to get out the tweaks and try things and share how we're feeling, right? You have to give yourself space and grace, and then communicate what you need. If you're not communicating what you need, how is anybody supposed to help you? Own your feelings and feel them. Exactly, Drea. So work on your inner healing. As a business therapist, I help you do the inner work so you can scale in life and business. If you don't do your inner work, y'all, I don't care how handsome you are, how fine you are, how good you are at what you're doing, it's going to spill over at some point. So even if you make the money that you want to make, you got the money in the bank, you're converting, but how are you feeling when you're laying down at night? What is really going on? And there's no timeline when you do. Y'all see how hype I got on that last one? That's how you know that's what I'm passionate about. Let me take a deep breath. Hold up, y'all. Whoo, Father. Hold up, y'all. I'm doing some water. Hold up, y'all. That's how you know that's my purpose point right there. You feel me? All right. Gap 2, lack of strategy. You know what your mindset block is, but you don't know how to address it. And when you learn how to address it, you're not consistent. Okay? This is why imposter syndrome continues to eat at us, because we might have learned what to do and we start doing it, but then we fall off. And then the next one is lack of support. The ego gets in the way, telling you that you good, you don't need no help, you don't need no coach, you don't need no community. And honestly, it's you not letting your guard down because you got a trust issue. I don't know who that's for. Give me a 1 if it's for you. I don't need no coach. I don't need no community because you've been burned in the past. Maybe you got some coach trauma, and that's why you really haven't sought support, because you have a trust issue. All right. Well, let me tell y'all this. The biggest mistake we make is dragging old baggage, past narratives, distorted stories. Does anybody know what a distorted story is? Let me know. What is your definition of a distorted story? Go on to Google and put in distorted. That's fine. Go on to Google. What is a distorted story? Okay. Let me know in the chat. Hey, Instagram, click the link in the bio to pull up and get the link to join us in Zoom room. We're wrapping up in about 20 minutes, but it's really good to have the visuals so you can learn and earn. All right, Lisa said your perception of an event with your perspective based on your experience. Very good. Mike said distorted story, an exaggerated story. Yes. Drea said story from a place of trauma. I love it. Talk Money Coach. Is that Coach Love? Talk Money Coach. Tell me your name. I'm quick to distort something of a previous story. Oh, I like that. Oh, Lisa said magical thinking. Lisa, you should do a masterclass on that. Magical thinking. That is so good. Y'all, distorted story is a false narrative, a false perception off of what you think and feel, but it's not reality. Key said based on your perception versus reality. Key, y'all, Key, why we twins? We twinning, Key. You just typed what I said. Exactly. So let me read this again. The biggest mistake we make is dragging old baggage, past narratives, distorted stories to new relationships and opportunities. I literally need this to stay on the screen for a minute because I don't know if y'all really understand what this is saying. What this is saying is that the new you has evolved. The new you have done your work. The new you is ready, but you are bringing that old baggage from childhood, that old baggage from a dysfunctional relationship, the old baggage of someone that kind of acts or talks like this new person, and you're bringing it into the new relationship. And that impacts you in and out, whether it's parenting, whether it's in a marriage, whether it's in dating, whether it is in entrepreneurship. I'm talking heavy today. I'm giving my own praise. Matter of fact, hold up, y'all. Okay, I just had to give myself that. I don't care if y'all give it to me or not. I'm going to give it to myself, period. Okay? And that's what you got to do with imposter syndrome. You literally have to pump yourself up, pat yourself on the back, treat yourself before you beat yourself. Okay? All right. What would have happened if I would have let my unresolved trauma, imposter syndrome, the negative thoughts, you're not pretty, people calling you crooked mouth, you grew up in a crazy home, you're going to be crazy, your kids going to be crazy, your dog going to be crazy, right? What would have happened if I would have let that run my life, hold me back, and keep me mute? I would not been able to make the impact that I have made, that I am currently making, and that I will make in the future, right? So I need you to literally let yourself go. Release yourself from the expectations. Release yourself from the perfectionism. Release yourself from it not being perfect. It's never going to be perfect. I hate to crack the code for you. It ain't never going to be perfect. You know why? It's not supposed to be. Beauty is in the perfections. All right. So let me share a couple client shares. This is Tarika. She is freaking awesome. When she came to work with me, she was struggling with imposter syndrome. We literally got to the root cause of one of her mindset blocks. She left the VIP day with me. She was sitting on this event. It sold out. Now she's like one of the sought after career strategists and mindset coaches. She even added that layer to what she does because she was able to get support from some unresolved stuff. So I need you to understand that if there's a gap, you need to figure out who can help you. Yes, you can do it on your own, but the question is, how long are you trying to take? You've been trying to do it all your life. And my question is, has it been working? Okay. So we have to seek help and support. Imposter syndrome increases the lack of clarity, confidence, and courage.
LaShana is a great business coach. She has been an intricate part in my journey to overcoming imposter syndrome that I faced that held me back for 10 years from going full force into building my business and standing in the ownership of my ability 100%. Shauna is a joy to work with, and she brings a full energy to every project. Her enthusiasm and passion for helping others create their own success comes out in her coaching sessions. I'm so grateful to have her as my business coach.
Oh, I just love Mo. And honestly, this is the crazy thing, y'all. A lot of us think that you got to work one-on-one with someone to have a strong impact. Mo has been working with me over the past year in my group coaching program. She's never done any of my one-on-one services, right? So at the end of the day, it's about accessibility and relatability. So you can actually, can you relate to the person? Do you see yourselves in what they're sharing in regards to the transformation, and really making a decision on how you're going to move forward in your next step of success? So I know you showed up today because you have had some mindset blocks that you need to be addressed, and you want to learn how to create a bulletproof mindset. Okay. Bulletproof mindset. crush imposter syndrome, and scale in life and business. You're probably fed up and you're finally ready to do your inner work. Give me a 7 if you are ready to do your inner work. And even if you're currently doing it, I want a 7 if you're currently doing it and you're ready, or you ain't been doing it, but you're ready today. Okay, amazing. I see the 7s coming through. Amazing. It takes most people years, decades, and some never do it because of those 3 gaps that I talked about earlier, right? Knowledge gap, support gap, perception gap, ego gap. And most people think that they can take this information and implement it and live their best life. Live happily ever after. Oh, LaShana taught me A, B, and C. I'm about to go do this. Bop, 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 bop. Negative. Let me break it to you. This is the reason why you haven't been able to scale in life and business, because you take all this information, all these YouTube channels, Google, masterclasses, freebies, and you try to do it yourself. How has it been working out for you? And maybe it's going good, but I want it to be sustainable. I want you to be able to do it successfully, effectively, with support. Okay? Now, you feel good now, but I know that one webinar will not change your life. And that's on period. Okay? So here's the deal. This is exactly why I created the 6 seed method. And it's a therapeutic approach. It's the same system I use and have taught several of my clients so they can learn how to reframe their mindset with ease, which leads to scaling in life and business and crushing imposter syndrome. So I want to introduce you guys to my 8-week hybrid mindset and mental health wellness incubator, the 6 seed mindset intensive. Now, the word 6 seed is a play on words, and I'm going to explain that here in a minute. This is the 6 seed mindset mastery method that you will be learning in this 8-week intensive. I'm not going to go through it in depth, but just know the courage is ignited because there's a fire that's already within you. And from there, you gain the clarity on who you really are, not who you are, who you really are, and who you best serve. A lot of us have some offers out there and they're cool, but I want you to create something that you love, and that you are excited about. See, when I first started doing entrepreneurship, I was doing confidence and clarity. And I said, you know what? I'm a business therapist. I help people grow their business and start because they have these blocks that are blocking them. That's not what I started out doing because I didn't know how people were going to accept it. I didn't know if that's what they really wanted. That's imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is not realizing how dope you are, not accepting that you got the juice and you are the ish, and doing it scared, doing it ugly. And from there, you're going to make sure that you think big, you're open for change, and that curiosity is continuously buzzing. You're going to learn how to create content that connects by infusing your resiliency story. You see, a lot of us, we kind of breeze over our story. I used to do that too. But now I am literally digging deep on my resiliency story and sharing it. And it has changed so many lives and freed people just by me sharing mine. And from there, you're going to be a champion for yourself and your brand. And that is literally how you make more money, because you're going to be in alignment with who you really are. And this offer was built with you in mind. No more shrinking, no more playing small, no more lacking a safe space. Y'all, we need safe space so much. And I know we're in some communities, but I want a safe space that you don't really have to tiptoe. You can literally be your full authentic self. And that's how you scale. And that's how you get rid of imposter syndrome. So what is inside of the 6 seed mindset intensive? The first piece is the courage and the confidence. So you get one-on-ones and group sessions in this intensive. You're going to activate your first one-on-one scale session to get to the root cause of your mindset block. That's when we literally have Iyanla Fix My Life merge with Undercover Boss. Okay. And from there, you get the clarity and the true identity. So you could build the courage, become more clear about who you are, who you really want to be, so you can stop shrinking and stop playing small. Next is the vision building with curiosity. Y'all, we have to be kids again. We have to make it fun. We have to be playful with it, be open-minded and curious so we can discover our true vision as a CEO. A lot of us are just on a hamster wheel doing all these tasks. The goal is for you to be a CEO and an overseer with a bird's eye view for your business. Otherwise, why are you spending all this time, energy, and money building something that you're going to continue to be in the rat race about? Give me a 1 if y'all understand what I am pushing out right now with that rat race, with that doing the social media, doing the email marketing, doing all these things, and you're not getting anywhere because you don't even have time to be the visionary of your business. All right. And then next, creating content that connects and crafting your resiliency story. I think this is the most important part. Well, I'm gonna say I'm mostly excited about this, helping people craft their resiliency story. This piece alone, you literally can take this as a speaking service and speak on stages, schools, etc., just by you getting your resiliency story on lock. And then lastly, champion to increase your cash flow, doing your inner work to create an enhanced lifestyle, new habits, new mindset blocks to really uncover what's stopping your cash flow and implementing the plan that we create. So what is the structure like? Weekly group mindset labs, self-care check, meditation, breathing will be infused into them as well. A monthly mindset scale session with me, that alone is worth over $1,500. 6-part mindset mastery curriculum, which I shared. A replay lab where if you miss it, you can go and catch up. Accountability box, journal, 24/7, Facebook community, and more. We have 10 spots because I want this cohort to be very, very intimate. And because of this masterclass, the application is waived. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all the link here in a minute. But here's everything that you get: 2 monthly one-on-ones, 6-part mindset mastery curriculum, the DISC assessment, self-awareness assessment. I know some of you guys already taken it, but I have this evolved deep dive where we dig deep into the mindset blocks and they're corresponded with your results. I'll talk more about that later. Weekly live mindset lab, self-paced replay modules, 24-hour Facebook group. And for anybody that I was giving the AOD ticket to anybody that paid in full, but honestly, anybody that purchases today, no matter if you do the payment plan or payment full, you're going to get the 2-day AOD live ticket in Atlanta VIP status. It's $597 right now on early bird, and it's $897 regular price. You're going to get that automatically. Okay. So the program is $5,000, or you can pay, that's supposed to be $1,000, not $100, y'all. Or you can pay $1,000 today and then 4 payments after that. The website, can somebody can please put this in the chat for me, is misswestcreativecoach.com/mindset intensive. I'm going to go to it here in a minute, but I just wanted to put in the chat if you want to check it out. We have, I see somebody just purchased. So we have 9 spots right now. And when I tell you, I'm super duper excited about this because not only does it help you build your business, but it comes from a mindset, holistic perspective. And if you're like, okay, I like it, but I need additional support, you can add a VIP day, which is $7,500, but you get the VIP day, the 8-week intensive, and all the other perks for just $10K. Okay. So what I want you to know is this: at the end of the day, I used to have a money mindset block. And when I had that money mindset block, I literally lost out on everything. I lost out on opportunities. I lost out on revenue. I lost out on impact. And what I want you guys to know is that once you move that mindset block and you believe in yourself to make the investment that's for you, you will then be able to scale in life and business. Okay. So what I want to do, I'm going to pop the link in the chat. Thank you, Dre. Let's get the hyperlink one. I want to leave some time for Q&A. If you got questions about the program, someone asked me in the chat, is there any other payment options? Yes, there is. What we can do is come up with your specialized payment plan because we don't start until June. So you can literally pay down that before we meet. All you need to do is DM me. Thank you, Drea, or text the word mindset to 678-336-7756, and we will come up with your creative payment plan. As you guys know, I'm always flexible. And as long as I know that you're committed, then I'm committed to making sure you get in this program. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to stop my share and we are going to have Q&A. Hello, hello, hello. And if you are on Instagram, you got to click the link in my bio to come over where we are. Bye, y'all. Let's see. Let me stop this. Boom. And let me take y'all off of mute because I want to make sure that I have time to answer any questions that you guys have. Okay. Boom. You're able to come off mute. Thank you, everybody who stayed till the end. I was excited about this masterclass. I'm excited about the Succeed Mindset Intensive. What questions do you have for me? We got about 10 minutes. Hey, guys. Let me get it's another link. Boom. Here we go. Copy. Okay. Hey, guys. What's up? Any questions for me?
Hey, LaShana, this is Andrea. I really enjoyed this. This has literally gave me a different perspective on being an entrepreneur and maybe some of the reasons why I have starts and stops in my entrepreneurial journey. My question is, you talked about the distorted story. How do you get from the distorted story to the true story?
That's really good, Dre. And the reason why is because there's a true story, there's your story, there's a distorted story, and then there's the other party's story. And nothing matters but your story. So you got to be honest with yourself on what really occurred, how that made you feel, and what was the impact. And from there, you're able to accept the true story, but still have yours. Now, mind you, what's the real story? At the end of the day, sometimes some of our trauma is so deep and so long ago, we've picked up distorted stories. We've picked up different mannerisms. We've picked up different behaviors, and we've created another narrative. And so to really do the deep work, that's going to take time. But when we do our self-inner healing and we come to truth on what truly occurred, that's when we can be acceptive. And it's basically a grieving process, especially depending on what occurred in the story. It's a grieving process. So you got to give yourself grace. You got to be open. You got to make sure that, if you are blaming, you hold yourself accountable and be like, okay, right now I'm blaming. Because if I could blame my mom right now, I could blame my mom what happened for me. Have I blamed her in the past? Yes. I'm still getting through that. And I still got to see her every day. There's things that come up, like I was watching the Kanye documentary, he cracked his jaw, I had all these flashbacks and all this stuff came up for me. I got to do my work. She's lived her life. Her cupboard was bare. A lot of us blame, and we want a good parent, a good husband, a good mate, a good wife. Their cupboard is not full. Their cupboard is bare. So don't let that become your issue, your trauma, your baggage, right? And so in short, I don't have a black and white answer for you, but to do your work, to be brutally honest with yourself and give yourself grace, because we can't move forward in life or in business when we have all of that on our back. It's going to resurface. It's going to come up periodically, and that's why we continue to be on the hamster wheel. Was that helpful?
Yes, very helpful. You said you didn't have a black or white, but you gave it in color, and I love it.
Oh, thank you, love. And I'm happy to see you on here today too. Lisa said,
glad to be here.
Amazing. Lisa said we can't heal them or their story, only our own. Amen to that. Amen to that. Yeah, man. What else you got for me?
LaShana, is this a this is I assume it is. This is a separate offering from the AOD group coaching?
Yes. Yes. It's a separate offering. However, I'm glad you brought that up. Mm-hmm. AOD members get 50% off. So right now it's 5,000. You guys can get it for 2,500. Mm-hmm. And I forgot to share that. So yeah, you guys can get it for 50% off. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll get the code for you and come up with payment plan, things of that nature. This literally it's heavier on the mindset, the healing, the wholeness, because that is the byproduct. And that once you do that work, you're going to be able to show up even deeper in business. Of course, I'm a business coach. You're going to get business coaching, but that's not what it's really focused on. It's really focused on you doing your deep work. And that's why you get one-on-one sessions and you get groups. So in the group mindset labs, there's certain things and activities that we're going to be going through and doing. It's going to be some good work, especially when we get into building your resiliency story. But yeah, I've crafted it specifically with that therapeutic approach.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, guys? And we got AOD tonight at 8. And Jasmine has a clubhouse room at 9. So Jazz, I'm gonna try to pop in depending on how long we go tonight in AOD.
Appreciate you.
No problem.